United States versus Torres interestingly portrays the dynamic between conservatives and liberals. U.S. Constitution protects the people. Now, do you include illegal immigrants in those people? Do they deserve the same rights? Most conservatives will say no, and generally speaking, most liberals will say yes. But then the second question becomes, do you support the Second Amendment to possess firearm? Most conservatives on this question will say yes, they do support it, while most liberals will say no. United States versus Torres attempts to synchronize both of these ideas and answer both questions. The facts of this case are not very critical. You have an individual who was born in 1985 in Mexico. As a 4-year-old, he entered the United States with his family. He never had any legal right to be in the United States. At some point, he left and then re-entered the United States several more times. All of those times, he entered illegally. He now appeals his conviction for possessing firearm as an alien, somebody who's here illegally or unlawfully in the United States. 18 U.S.C. 922 G5A criminalizes this conduct. He says that this statute is unconstitutional and violates his Second Amendment rights. As I have already mentioned, the Second Amendment guarantees that the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. The Second Amendment has some limitations. It does not guarantee that every person can possess firearm at every place or for every purpose, and it does not guarantee every type of weapon. In 2008, the Supreme Court case, the District of Columbia versus Heller, made its first in-depth analysis of the Second Amendment, and the court told us that above all, the Second Amendment protects the right of law-abiding and responsible citizens to defend themselves. So the key phrase here is law-abiding and responsible citizens. So the question, does the Constitution, the Second Amendment, only applies to the citizens of the United States? After reviewing the circuit split decisions, the Ninth Circuit joins the 10th and assumes but does not decide if Mr. Torres or any unlawful alien is included in the phrase "the people" in the Second Amendment. Instead, by assuming, they move on and try to answer the question, even if he has those Second Amendment rights, can the government infringe on those rights and take them away? The Ninth Circuit applies intermediate scrutiny, which means that the statute simply needs to promote a substantial government interest that would be achieved less effectively absent this regulation. Of course, the government has a substantial interest in promoting safety of the public and of its own officers. It would be a lot more difficult and dangerous for Border Patrol and other government officials to apprehend and arrest illegal aliens if they possessed firearms and had the right to do so. So what the Ninth Circuit says is that even if we assume that the Second Amendment does give the firearm protection, the right to possess firearm to the illegal aliens, we can still take it away under the intermediate scrutiny because the government does have an interest in promoting safety. If you enjoyed this video, please click like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so next time I post, you'll be first to know.